What's going on, everybody? Coming at you with a deck profile for Red Green Luffy. This is a deck that is a really fun deck to play because it has a lot of aggression and it can really surprise your opponent. And while there's not really a ton of defense, it still has some pretty strong defensive capabilities. And it's a deck that I think that people will have a tough time dealing with if they don't know how to play against it. So without further ado, let's hop in. First off, our 1-drops. We're playing 4 Otama and 4 Nami. Otama is pretty self-explanatory, one of the best red cards in the entire game, and it's a must-run 4 of in every single red deck. Nami is really self-explanatory because it hits almost every single card in the deck. It's a great searcher, and it's a body on board that you can sometimes buff up if you need to get in swings at points in the game when you have nothing else on board. I'm playing 4 Chopper because this is a 2k counter that's hittable off of both Namis, and it has a when attacking effect that is not terribly bad with your leader. I don't think you ever really want to use it unless you absolutely have to, but it can come in handy, I guess, if you need to rest a bunch of small blockers against a matchup like Green. I'm playing 4 Brook. Again, it's a searchable 2k counter off Nami, and it is, has merit when you play it off board. Playing 4 Nico Robin, this card works insanely well with your leader ability. You could potentially kill 2 characters in one turn with this, especially if you use this in combination with Otama on a 6 Dawn turn. You get the swing out, you add Dawn underneath her, and you use your leader effect to pop something else, so you can get a 5k and a 3k in one turn, and that just always feels really, really good. I'm playing 2 Rush Zoro. Rush Zoro is really strong, but again, he's a card with no counter, and I think he's kind of redundant in this deck because you have so many other ways of being aggressive, and this deck can surprise people, and Zoro is great at doing that, and in combination with the leader effect, you can really surprise some opponents with a combination attack from like a Zoro and then another character already on board swinging twice, plus your leader, so that's why I'm playing 2 of them, and he's hittable off your Nami search. I'm playing 4 of the Film Nami. This card is great because she lets you generate a lot of card advantage. She's a target for your Luffy to play her and your Brook to play her, and she has an effect when attacking, so it synergizes well with your leader effect, where you can get potentially multiple searches off in one turn with her, which can be make or break if you need to find some additional counter or cards that are relevant for your game plan. I'm playing 2 of the Starter Deck Zoro. Starter Deck Zoro is really, really strong because he has an awesome effect where his Dawn ×1 gives him 1000 power on all turns, and that's great because he's easier to defend and he can swing for really big numbers really, really early in the game, and you'll see that with some of the gameplay that I have where he can swing in like 7 and then 8k on turn 3, which a lot of decks don't have the tools to deal with. Playing 4 Brook because this card is fantastic. It's got 1k counter, and it can play out Brook. It can play out literally anything smaller than it in this deck, because everything smaller than it other than Otama are Straw Hat or Film, so this card is fantastic, and in conjunction with 7-drop Luffy, you can really flood your board and make your opponent pretty flabbergasted. I'm playing 4 of the Film Zoro, mostly because it's a big attacker that you can use your leader effect with, and because it's hittable off both Namis, and you can play it off 7-drop Luffy. But again, it's just a 4-drop 6k vanilla, which are really strong right now. I'm playing 1 of the 5-cost Rush Luffy. This card is really strong, but in this deck it is mostly a finisher. You don't really need it for anything else other than that, and you already have a ton of aggression in other situations that this card really only ever needs to be used when you're planning to end a game with it. Otherwise, you don't really need to see this card in your hand because you have so many other tools to be aggressive with. I'm playing 2 of the Starter Deck Law. Law is good in the deck, but it doesn't come up as much as you think. The only situation where I would use him over the leader effect is if you're in a situation where you can use both, or if you really need to establish another body on board and you want to get the restand for offensive or defensive purposes. This card can do wonders with your Starter Deck Zoro or your Nami or your Nico Robin if you're in a position where you want to get that other body on board. Also, the fact that it's 2k counter, it's not terrible, and it synergizes well with what the deck wants to do, which is be hyper aggressive while also controlling your opponent. Finally, for our last character, we're playing 4 of the 7-cost Luffy. This card is a blocker, it's got a decent stat line, and its effect to play a Film or Straw Hat type character is just phenomenal because you can sometimes turbo this card from your 7 or 8 Dawn turn, you play Luffy, and then you play Brook, and then you play Nami, Zoro, Robin, or whatever card that you need to play, and you just have a ton of aggression and control on the board with just one card being played. And if you're going second, you're playing this, which I think this deck does benefit from, is going second, because your turn 2 is so strong with like Brook Robin or Brook Zoro or Brook Nami, that this card, when going second, you play him, and you can play him into Brook into Zoro, or him into Brook into Nami, or him into Brook into Robin even, and then have one Dawn active for Radical Beam. It's just incredible. Lastly, for our event cards, we're playing 4 Rad Beam, best counter card in the game. You're going to be often at 2 life, and then we're playing 3 Jet Pistol. You could probably replace 1 Nami from the film for 1 Jet Pistol, but this is the ratio that I think works for me. Now let's dive into some gameplay.
Okay, let's go second. I like second better. This is not a real hand. That's better. That's a better hand. That's at least playable. Okay, and we have a Jet Pistol as well. Oh my goodness. That's fine. 4-life leader into Whitebeard is so hard though. I don't want to protect that early swing, no trigger. 3 cost, so you play Zoro. If you play Zoro, that's fine. I have a 2k for that. Was Vista to pop Nami, okay? Draw Dawn. Let's get this out. And then we can go 6 out leader. Force a counter into hand at least. And then next turn I'll be able to swing 7 twice at least. So that's pretty tasty. And I can just 2k counter out of this first swing. Unless he swings 7 at me, which would be pretty tragic. But we'll see a Nami, and then I'll probably play like a 4-drop, like got a Radical Beam. That's fair. I don't know if he'll be expecting the... Oh, when he plays Moby Dick. Okay, so he's playing the Moby Dick version of the deck. He's going to swing 7 at me, which is fine, because I can go Brook, Robin, and we'll resolve that attack. And he's got 1 up for Radical Beam, so we'll draw Dawn, and then this is where I'm going to go attack 7 into 6. I am going to force 2 cards out of his hand on this turn. At least. That's the thing, is I'm going to force 2 cards out of his hand. Actually, 3 cards out of his hand. So I can use this effect to do it again. He took it. Okay. Let's go 8 at 6. Give me a Rad Beam. Okay, cool. I'm digging that play. That's fine. This is a pretty tough matchup, I think, because he's going to get like an ace down here, I think. Yeah, and he's just going to kill my Zoro, which is pretty tough, for sure. I can Tama Pistol it, though, which is nice. I'm going to... Robin's too slow, so I'm going to protect with Robin. I'm going to force him to use one of his swings at it. That's okay. And then the ace swing comes through for 7, but that's okay. Because next turn I can play pistol on. I can play Tama Pistol. I can't really establish anything though. I can. Yes, I can. I can go Tama Pistol on the ace. I can swing 5 at the Vista here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then I can drop a Nami and I can just go ahead there. He's gonna play his 9-beard here, which is fine. Because he's gonna swing big here with this guy, but I have 2 Radical Beams, so I'll let this one go through. That's fine. Okay, so I'll go. Ugh, it's awkward as hell, but we'll go 1, 2, 3, attack 8, use card action, take the blocker Luffy. We'll go 8 again. Get the 2k out, and then I'll enter. I got 2 Rad Beams. I have 2k counter. I'll be able to play this into a Brook next turn. Just to give... I mean, if he has another 9 beer, that's fine, I guess. Because it takes up his whole turn. He'd be smart to kill my Nami. Okay, Ace is annoying. Yeah. No, I'll protect the Nami. I'll force another swing at it at least. I mean, I'll force him to put 2 down under Whitebeard at least to swing at it. And at least that I can counter out of the attacks here. Because I can counter out of this Ace's attack at least with Brook. So I can go no blocker, I go Rad Beam plus this, that's fine. And I still have a Rad Beam plus a 2k for the 9k swing. Ugh, that's actually really tough, but I got out of it at least. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, you kill my Nami. You have no active Dawn, though, so I wonder if I just load up 15. With no active Dawn, I doubt you get out of 15. Yeah, there's no way you get out of it. So, like, this deck, like, I'm sure you saw, this deck was able to put a lot of pressure on that one turn with that Zoro. I got, like, a bunch of swings in with him for big numbers, and Whitebeard had to take a life, and because of that, when he didn't have another 9-drop, and he had to use it to kill my character because I had enough counter to protect my life. It just ended up being game for him because there's no way that he can protect 15k with no Dawn active. So that's that game. That was fun. Woo-wee. We're gonna mulligan that hand. This hand is not much better, but they're gonna want to go first, and I can at least, yeah, okay, I can at least Nami. Hopefully, I can pull a Brook, and then I can at least put the Brook into Robin. I'm gonna have to grab the Luffy because I can't bottom deck it. It's unfortunate, but at least in this matchup, like, Luffy's pretty good. He can't get bounced by the Ivankov with the other Luffy, and I'm playing cards like Rad Beam. And again, this card, like my Zoro, my Nico Robin's gonna be great into this Doflamingo. We'll take the first one. Oh, perfect. Let's go. That's actually amazing because now I can go Brook into Robin, and then I can attack for 5. And now next turn, I'll be able to pop both his blocker and his buggy. Or if he plays another blocker on this turn, he's gonna counter out, which is fine. So like if you look at my board state here, I'm gonna be at 6 Dawn next turn. He drops the 7 cost Croc, which is fine. I'll take that one as well, no trigger. And then this turn here, I can get my Robin to pop both the blocker and this, so we'll go Tama, minus there, attack, pop, and we're gonna actually have my Robin swing twice to clear buggy as well. We swing Brook. We swing leader. And then we activate leader effect, and then we attack again for 6, popping buggy. We dealt with most of his board. He's got a really full hand, so I don't think an Ivankov is coming down. I mean, it still might come down, but I can answer it really, really well with this into Zoro. So, and he's got to deal with my board still, and I have a ton of counter. I have Tama plus Chopper, so he has new common land, so he's gonna draw 1 trash 1, or trash 3, I guess, if he wants to. But he breakfasts my Nico Robin, which means he's not playing down his Ivankov this turn, which is actually pretty beneficial for me. Because again, I'll be able to play. He's gonna swing that there, and I'm gonna use the Robin that I just bounced out to hand because now it's too slow. Now Robin's too slow. There's not gonna be a spot where it's gonna be useful, and then I just successfully blocked an attack with my Brook there. So now I can go Luffy into Zoro, and he put Inazuma, and that's fine. Trashing his Luffy, it's too slow for him right now. He can't try. I mean, he's not trashing anymore, which is good. And then I can go. So this turn, I can go. I'll go 5 at life, just to force out a block, or a counter. That's fine. And then I'll go Luffy into Zoro, and then I'll end turn. And I have a Rad Beam up here. Plus I have a ton of counter, and I have a blocker as well, so I'm not at risk of dying. And he's just trashing his entire hand because he's going to play Ivankov, and then he's going to play probably the other Luffy, yeah, and then he's going to bounce the Zoro back to my hand, which is fine. That's okay. So it's really okay because I can just go Luffy into Zoro again next turn. So he's going to swing 7 here. I'll take the first one. That's perfect, actually. And then I'll block the second one, and I'll do 552k. And now I'm in a pretty decent spot. How do I want to do this? So I've got 2 cards in hand. So, like, the thing is like, I could... Let's clear the Croc. Let's go with the Croc here. That's fine. I mean, are you gonna pitch to protect it still? No, there's no point pitching to protect it. Yeah, that's why I was thinking. I still have 8 up. So if I have 8 up, I can still go Luffy. And then I'm wondering if I should play a Nami just for a search, just to pull other 2k. Yeah, that's probably the better play. And then I just protect my Luffy hard, and then I just go for game next turn. Because I have so many big swings. So he's probably got a Mihawk to play if he's going 9. Which is fine, I guess. But Mihawk uses his whole turn, and I can counter out of these swings pretty easily. Oh, he pitched in a Ivankov. I think a Mihawk's definitely coming down. Is there anything that he really wants to bounce? Is there anything that he really wants to bounce from, like, the Luffy? I mean, Luffy's probably gonna swing on my Luffy, right? But I can protect it. Like, I don't understand if he's gonna go at it. Like, just go at it, like, fully, right? Luffy attacking Luffy? Like... I actually think I just take this, and then I just protect Luffy from these next 2 swings. I have another Rad Beam now. I can still just live. I don't even need to go for game, really. Oh, well, I mean, if he's gonna do that, then I can just go for game. I almost messed up my sequencing there. That would have been really rough. Like, he's gotta know that I have a Luffy coming down, right? Just in case it's Gum Gum Rain. Yeah, it's just GG. There's nothing that he can do in that situation. Just so much aggression coming out from my deck, and these 7-drop Luffys that can just play another body that you're forced to deal with. Also being able to leave 1 up for Rad Beam. Rad Beam is like one of the most, I think, broken counter cards in the game. 4k for 1 with literally no downside, especially on a 4-life leader. I think this Red Green Luffy deck is really strong, and I think it has a lot of merit in the meta right now. I don't think it's nearly as strong as Law, but your 6 Dawn turn, if you can get like a Brook into a Zoro, even just play out a Zoro and they can't deal with it, your 6 Dawn turn, you're going to get a huge tempo swing, and then you're going to be able to follow that up with a 7 Dawn, with an 8 Dawn turn with that Luffy coming down, and either playing like another card. And like, I don't win that game unless I play that Nami to search off of my Luffy, because that Nami searching off my Luffy grabbed me a Brook, which let me stay in the game. So
Really strong deck. I think there's a lot of merit to it here. That's this game. Alright, another match here. This is actually a really good hand. I'm probably going to go second here. So, again, this hand is really strong because I can play Nami here, and I can search for... Like, this Nami hits so many different things in my deck. And he's going to go ahead and play his own Nami, which is fine. Oh, Jet Pistol is also really nice here. I'm going to play Nami. Oh, I can't. I'm going to have to grab Rad Beam. I think I can't send that to bottom right now. Rad Beam is just too good. And then I'll be able to play either Zoro. I think in a matchup against a 4 life leader, you have to be really aggressive. So he's going to swing 8 at me here, and minus the cost doesn't really do anything here. But he's going to swing 8, and I'm going to take this. There's no point countering out of this early in the game, especially when my next turn, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to swing my leader at his life. Which, again, you can give me a 1k or you can give me a 2k here to counter out of it, or you can take it. But my Zoro's going to come down. God, do I even want a Zoro? Yeah, I definitely want a Zoro here. I have to Zoro to be... I'll go 6 just to force out a 2k. But he takes it. So now he's down to 2 life. Yeah, he can remove this Zoro. But whatever he plays, I'm just going to remove next turn. And then oh, he hits an impact wave. I mean, that's kind of like perfect scenario for him is an impact wave. And that's okay. I'm going to counter out with a Robin. Robin's too slow. She just gets removed for free. And then we're going to see a Smoker. So his whole turn goes on the Smoker, which is fine. We're going to see a Nami come down. Oh, this is rough. I'm going to grab Robin, I guess, because Jet Pistol's pretty bad here. I'm going to play Nami. I'll grab that. I'll swing 5 at leader. I'll leave 1 up for Rad Beam. Because this Smoker, like they're gonna swing really heavily with me with the Smoker here. Another Smoker. Okay, that's fine. It's a lot of pressure on board that I can't really deal with. Yeah, so it's a double attack Smoker here for 8k. And I kind of have to take this. Really, I can't afford to not. Oh, perfect! I get a Luffy though. That's great. This I can counter out of no problem. Robin's too slow. Draw Dawn. 8 Dawn. So I can leave 1 up for Rad Beam here still. I'll go. Oh, we'll go 5 at leader. No, we're not going to use card action. I have to leave 1 up for Rad Beam. Again, if I can get a blocker out at 7 cost, it's gonna take us a time. I mean, he can have a stack as easy, but Impact Wave is great. That's fine. He uses that. It's 1 more card out of hand. I'll swing again with 5. Again, it's just gonna be Luffy into Zoro here, and then I'm set up for the next turn to win game. With 1 Rad Beam up, and I have some counter in hand. I have like. You know, a little bit of counter, but I have a blocker now. I don't care if my Luffy dies. If he uses a lot of resources on the Luffy, then I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the resources on Luffy because next turn I'll just be able to go really big with my Zoro. I mean, I have a Jet Pistol for a blocker if he plays one. The only blocker I can't really deal with is Borsalino. But he has to clear my entire board basically this turn, unless he thinks that he can go for game. Which he probably could go for game, but if any of his swings are not like measured out properly, or if he spends like Dawn on something like and minuses my Luffy, it just really depends on how he decides to play it. But he knows I have a Radical Beam, so who knows how he'll play it. My hand is pretty full, but there are a lot of bricks in it. Nami, Jet Pistol are bricks, so he's gonna swing 9 at me. Minus any costs on my Zoro because it's probably gonna get popped. 9 is okay because 9 means I can Rad Beam plus 1k gets me out of that one, and all I have to do is deal with this. So this swing can go through no problem. Like he's got 7 Dawn. He didn't minus on my Luffy. I mean, he could go 1 here and then pop Luffy, but I could just block this attack. I'd like to keep my Luffy alive though, so I still have 9k counter in hand. So I think the next attack I have to let go through.
I just need to see what he's going to do, because he didn't minus my Luffy at all, which means he's more afraid of the Zoro, which is fair. Zoro is definitely a scary character. I think he's fantastic. He's got 7 non-active still, so we'll see what he does. Unfortunately, you can't use Luffy effect on 7-drop Luffy, but that's okay. 7-drop Luffy is an amazing card. He's got 6 cards in hand still. I wonder what he's gonna do here. Because the -2 on the Zoro doesn't really make sense. Does he, what, use... I don't know. I don't know what he does here. This is a good question. This is a tough one. This is a tough match. I think that it's awkward for my deck to deal with these big smokers, because I don't really have any removal that deals with it, and my deck is like pure offense. It's pure offense and card draw to find the pieces that you need for the offense. So yeah. I'm so glad that I hit that Luffy off that Nami search, so that was important. I think this man is just lost. But he's gonna go ahead and load up Smoker, and he's gonna give -1 cost to my Luffy. He's swinging at my Nami, which is the smart play. This is the smart play. I'm not gonna block it. That's okay. Because I think Kobe's gonna come down and pop my Zoro. That would make sense, right? Kobe coming down to pop it? Oh, he's leaving that much up, okay. I mean, he's already seen 2 impact waves, though. Like, what are the odds of him seeing another, like, 2 more impact waves? That's crazy. This is a tough one to beat. This is a tough spot to be in, honestly. I think 9 is the ideal, because if he uses an impact wave, he can't pop my Zoro, and then I can just restand him and swing again. 4, and then I have 3 more Dawn active. Yeah. This way I can get through both of his impact waves. Again, it's going to cost him a impact wave plus a card here, and then I'll be able to do this again. Because the impact wave only kills active characters of 3 or less, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'll be able to just combo out with my Zoro. Should be able to lose this game. This game should be borderline unlosable. Because even with dual impact wave in hand, like, he still has to have cards on top of that. So he uses guard point. What did he use? Guard point and rod beam? Yeah, he used rod beam, so that's fine. I can attack. Oh, sorry. I can attack 5 with Luffy here. Another rod beam comes out. Okay. 9 with Luffy. Okay, and then it's activate, and then we pray that 11's enough. Yeah, 11's enough, yeah. I think even with his hand with a lot of counter cards, but like, I think he's just playing too many different counter cards in his list. But yeah, like, you just see that, like, when this card comes down, like when this Zoro comes down, it's just so much aggression. Like, this is actually a really strong deck. I think it's got some merit. I think it's strong for reasons that are different than Law is strong. Obviously, Law has a lot more flexibility and a lot more card search and an ability to play cards and bounce cards back for just 2 costs. But, you know, it's a lot of great cards in this deck, and, you know, I really value this Zoro here.